Hi there everybody, Ollie here, aka Secret Numbers here, another episode of Magic Duels. So this feels a bit weird. I haven't actually done any recording in over a week. I've been away in Switzerland, which is kind of explaining why the channel's been a bit quiet for a couple of days, as I have not, I only just got back the other day and I've only just found time to record pretty lately. So I'm going to try and get a couple of videos recorded today and start releasing them again this week and get back on track as I kind of settle back into normality. But let's get started. So today's deck tech, we're going to be looking at my Prowess deck. So I really wanted to do one of these in the last expansion, but because the priority system was so bugged, it almost felt like it was difficult to actually play this kind of deck without just like the game almost making misplays for you rather than you making them yourself, if that makes sense. So yeah, I really wanted to do one. So let's take a look. So kind of the key part of this deck are these 16 very cheap instant and sorcery spells here. So we've got 4 copies of Fiery Impulse, 4 copies of Rush of Adrenaline, which is a 1 mana to give a creature 2/1 and trample, Expedite, which is a 1 red mana instant where target creature gains haste and we get to draw a card, and then we've also got the 1 mana blue sorcery Slip Through Space, which means target creature can't be blocked this turn. So these cards are all really key. You want to see at least maybe 1 or 2 of these cards in your opening hand because they're really important for triggering the Prowess on all of our Prowess creatures very cheaply. So we really want to see these come up kind of at all times. They're very useful for pushing through damage, dealing with removing creatures, and also, you know, just making our creatures unblockable. So yeah, they're pretty key. Moving on, we then move on to our creatures which benefit from the Prowess. So we've got Thing in the Ice, which isn't technically a Prowess creature, but casting the instant and sorceries while it's on the field removes its charge counters and eventually flips it into Awoken Horror. Abbot of Keral Keep is a 2/1 Prowess creature, which potentially allows us to play an extra card on our turn. So we exile the top card of our deck when they come into play, and we can either play it if we can afford to, if not it just gets exiled. Mage-Ring Bully is just a pretty aggressive 2/2 which has to attack each turn if able, and then Prowess is up as well. Stormchaser Mage, great little card. So it's a red-blue Prowess card, so it's got flying and haste, so it's kind of a superior version of these two. Less base attack, but the flying and haste is pretty important, so the evasion and the ability to swing on the turn it's played is pretty sweet. We've got some telling time for the card draw. I was often finding with this deck that if you like started flooding out, you needed something like telling time to draw late game to actually kind of keep you in it. So it's just a 2 mana instant spell which can trigger all the Prowess on all our Prowess creatures. Jhessian Thief, so a 3 mana 1/3 Prowess creature, so similar to the Stormchaser Mage, but unlike the evasion, this one has the ability to draw us cards if we can connect with our opponent's face, which is quite nice. Mercurial Geists is a new addition from Eldritch Moon, so it's a 4 mana 1/3 flyer, so again similar to the Stormchaser Mage. It's got a Prowess ability, but instead of the +1/+1, this one gets +3/0, so it's basically a Prowess, just, you know, a different way of, it's a different trigger. So it's not called Prowess because it's not the same keyword, but it still gets pumped up when you play those instant and sorcery spells. Again, Docent of Perfection isn't, strictly speaking, a Prowess creature, but it has a Prowess type effect. When we cast an instant and sorcery spell, we put a 1/1 blue human wizard creature token onto the battlefield, so it's a token generator, which is quite nice. If we control 3 or more wizards, and this does include our Stormchaser Mages as well, so if we've already got them down, I don't think we have any other mages in the deck. And once we have 3 of them, we flip it into the final iteration, which is a 6/5 flyer, gives all of our other wizards +2/+1 and flying, and we still get to drop even more wizards onto the battlefield every time we cast instants or sorcery spells. So it's just a late game drop creature to potentially interact with some of our instants and sorcery spells. Finally, we've got the 1 copy of Bedlam Reveler. So on kind of initial look, this is an expensive card. It's 8 mana. You know, with most decks, especially an aggressive deck like this, wouldn't usually be able to play this. But the great thing about Bedlam Reveler is that it costs 1 less for each instant and sorcery card in our graveyard. So we're playing all of these cheap instants and sorcery spells. Like, we can pretty much get, you know, 3 or 4 into the graveyard by like turn 4. At that point, this is only a 4 mana creature, and it's a 3/4 Prowess creature. Also, the best bit about this one is that when it enters the battlefield, we discard our hand and draw 3 cards. Often when you're playing this kind of card in the late game, you've got pretty much an empty hand or a lot of mana which you don't know what to do with. So this Bedlam Reveler can be pretty good for kind of refilling our hand and allowing us to kind of keep prowessing up our creatures which are already down. In terms of the mana base, we've got 8 islands, 10 mountains, and then 2 of each of the red and blue tap lands. So they're all in play. So that is the deck. Let's go play some games. Okay guys, here we are for game number 1. I completely missed who we're playing there. I'll go back go back and double check in a moment. I'm going to keep this just because the amount of times I've been mana screwed with this deck, I'd rather just keep a hand with a decent selection of our spells. Oh god, we're gonna, of course we're going to flood out. Why wouldn't we flood out? So we're playing the rank 11 Take Z VLC. So hopefully, you know, in the next turn or two we'll actually find one of our creature spells. So it looks like we may be playing blue-black zombies. Yep, we've got the Shambling Ghoul come down. Not the most useful card now that there's a lot better zombies to play early game than Shambling Ghoul. Okay, excellent. So we have actually managed to find ourselves a Jhessian Thief, which is pretty sweet. So next turn we can play her out, put a Slip Through Space on her on turn 4. Depends what we get. Like if we get something like a 2-drop, one of our 2-drops, I would potentially Expedite it rather than play out the Jhessian Thief. But we'll see how it goes. So who are we playing? Yeah, Take Z VLC is who we're playing. And yes, I'm rank 18 at the moment. Haven't really had much time to play lately. And we've got Graph Harvest, so that's the enchantment which gives all of his zombies. And he's also got the Ghoul Caller's Accomplice as well. Again, not one of those cards which is necessarily useful for zombies nowadays. Okay, so that's not particularly useful. We've just got the Wandering Fumarole. So we'll just drop the Jhessian Thief here. So next turn I'd ideally like one of my flyers, which I could potentially drop an Expedite on. So say for example, Stormchaser Mage would be nice. Okay, Frostlinks, that's an interesting addition to a zombie deck there. Not sure I fully understand that. So we're about to take 4 damage here, not particularly good. So we're down at 14 at this point. That doesn't untap. Oh my god, what the hell? Seriously? I'm going to Expedite here just to draw an additional card. Oh my... Seriously? That is ridiculous. That is really quite silly. Let's try again. You... What? Game? Like, that is ridiculous. That is completely ridiculous. How much mana am I going to draw? Wow. Just wow. I can't believe that. Like, you start off with a 4 mana hand and all you draw is mana and 1 Jhessian Thief. That is completely stupid. Completely stupid. All we get is another Expedite. So let's see what we get here. If I got, I don't know. What the? You are joking. That is ridiculous. I'm almost just going to finish playing this game just because I want to see how much mana I can draw before we finish off here. So we'll draw another card. If it's a mana... Oh, okay, we've got a Fiery Impulse. So we can actually kill off the Shambling Ghoul if we want to. We'll drop the Wandering Fumarole here. Do we drop it? Yeah, I think we have to take you out. I can't believe that. That is a ridiculous amount of mana, though. Ridiculous amount of mana. So what's he doing? Oh, I see. He's exiling his zombie from... I should have killed off the Frostlinks there in hindsight. So I forgot that he could just bring that back with the Graph Harvest. My bad. You can tell I'm a bit out of practice, guys, and I apologise for that. Practice games, this deck worked wonders, and then apparently because I'm recording again, it's suddenly going, haha, we're just going to completely shit on you. I'm not going to play the Expedite, there's no point. Oh, what the? That is so silly. That is ridiculous. I can't believe that. Can't believe that. The amount of mana I've drawn. Let's keep trying, you know. What else can we get, guys? What else can we get? Oh, Mercurial Geists. How nice of you to appear. But we're dead at this point anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, we're just going to move on to game number 2, I think. And, yeah, let's let him win here. Okay, guys, here we are for game number 2. We're playing the rank 8 Kirvosh, something like that. Yeah, this is not too bad. We've got the Rush of Adrenaline, we've got the Slip Through Space. So I'll probably start off with the Wandering Fumarole here. Yeah, we're playing Kirvosh. So this is not too bad, you know, this is acceptable, much better than what we had before. Oh, nice, we've got a second Mage-Ring Bully, that's what I like to see. So at least we've got 2 creatures this time. And, you know, a decent amount of mana. Okay, so he's playing out his Consul's Lieutenant. So... okay, we do have an Expedite, so I'm going to play you out. I might just let him Prowess. I want to see what else he plays first. Because even if I didn't play anything, he'd still get to Prowess that. So, not Prowess it, Renown it. So depending what else he plays here, he's going to play Nimbus Wing, so that's going to tap down at least. So it goes up to a 4-4? Yeah, go up to a 4-4. So we can push through even more damage than him here. So I'm going to drop the Mage-Ring Bully with the Expedite. So I mean, we didn't have any choice about that. He was always going to be able to just prowess that up there with the Nimbus Wings. Okay, nice. We've got a second Expedite, so we can drop the Mage-Ring Bully here. Drop the Expedite on it. Draw us a card. Push through 6 damage. Yep, 6 damage. Mana is okay, not the best. There we go. So next turn, depending on what he plays, we have the option to do things like Rush of Adrenaline, Slip Through Space. So yeah, I think we should be able to kill the Consul's Lieutenant if he decides to block next turn. So we can give one of them unblockable with the Slip Through Space, which is good. And then the other one we could then maybe look at Rush of Adrenaline in, and maybe even Expediting as well, just to push him out of range of the 4-4, whichever one he blocks. Because the Slip Through Space will give it both of them 3-3. The Rush of Adrenaline will actually saying that, the Rush of Adrenaline would actually put it out of range of the first strike as well, because it would go up to a 4-4 just with the Prowess trigger, and then the additional +1 toughness would actually then make it a 6-4 with trample. So he's deciding to just outright swing here. He's going for it. He realizes that he might not. Okay, yeah, he's going for the Titanic Growth, so he's trying to just beat us down faster than we can beat him down at this rate. So we're going to drop down to 9 here. How much damage can we push through is the next best question. Depends if we found a second Rush of Adrenaline, I'd be fairly confident of just pushing through lethal here. We do have the Abbot of Keral Keep, so that's actually really good. Let me think about this. So how much damage can we push through? If we ignore the Abbot, we've got 3 spells, which makes each of these already be better with the Abbot. Let's have a think about this. So with these 2, we go up to 6-6 with the Slip Through Space. We go up to 8-8. I think it's better with the Abbot here. So if we do the Abbot, see what we get from the Abbot, and then we're going to Expedite and Rush of Adrenaline. I think we're just going to push through more damage with 3 Prowess creatures down. That's what we found. We have found Mercurial Geists, which is fine. So let's just Expedite you, which makes all of these 3/3s, I believe. Yeah, this was the best way of doing it with the Rush of Adrenaline, I think. So then we just swing and then Rush of Adrenaline. See if he blocks. Is he doing anything? So we're just going to Rush of Adrenaline. Come on, game. There we go. So I think this... so it makes all of these 4/4s, plus the final 2 damage comes from you, which I think makes lethal. That is 14 damage. Excellent. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Got it in 1. So let's move on to game number 3. Okay guys, here we are for game number 3. We're playing the rank 9 Tesla. See how we get on. This is okay. I'm going to keep it just because we could potentially reduce down the cost of Bedlam Reveler with the Fiery Impulse and an Expedite if we find a small creature. So we've got green from our opponent. See how we get on. Do the Mercurial Geists, so if we can get to 4 mana, this will be a good 4-drop. So So we'll start off with the Highland Lake here, I think. Next a mountain, then a Sulfur Falls. So we've got a Fiery Impulse to just ping off a small creature in case he wants to play that out. Something with 2 toughness or less. I was about to say, has this guy kept a 1? Oh my god, this guy's kept a 1 mana hand. This has suddenly become a lot easier. Plus we have the double Mercurial Geist and the 4 mana that we need to play it, so I'm feeling pretty confident here that we can probably do this. Yeah, this guy has kept a 1 mana hand by the looks of things. Yeah, he is in a whole world of pain right now. What's he got here then? Whirler Rogue? Yeah, we just got all the mana this time. We actually need the mana, which is actually quite nice for once. So I'm probably going to go for, yeah, Mercurial Geists this turn. Okay, so he hasn't managed to find himself an Elvish Visionary. Not too fussed by that. So it's going to be turn 4 Mercurial Geist, turn 5 Mercurial Geist plus Expedite to swing for a lot of damage. So we're maybe playing some kind of Simic. I think we're probably playing like a Simic tempo deck by the looks of things. So we'll play out you. We've got the Fiery Impulses to trigger Mercurial Geist later on. So yeah, I'm assuming we're playing Simic tempo, just from the green and blue. Haven't played a Simic tempo deck, what, for a couple of expansions now. Probably something I should update at some point. It's always a very powerful deck, Simic tempo. Tightening Coils. Enchanted creature gets -6/0 and loses flying. Ugh. That's horrible. That is really quite horrible. Okay, so let's drop our second Mercurial Geists. And then give it Expedite. So that goes up to, what, -2... I'm just going to use this as a glorified blocker now, I think, just because it's never going... Unless I can drop, like, 2... what's what I'm looking for? 2 sorceries in a turn. That is never going to get played. Well, it's never going to be an offensive creature. So I'm probably going to drop a Fiery Impulse on the Elvish Visionary next turn. So he's found a 3rd mana, and he's found a Sphinx's Tutelage. Okay, that's interesting. Could potentially help me with the Bedlam Reveler. So maybe we're playing like what's the word? Simic or Sultai Mill, something like that. So play out the Mountain and the Stormchaser Mage, and then we're just going to Fiery Impulse down his Elvish Visionary. So again, we can't Fiery Impulse one of our creatures; it will kill it. So we're just going to Fiery Impulse down you. And then swing with these 2. So drop him by another 6. I mean, in theory, if we need a target for our Fiery Impulse, we could just Fiery Impulse the, the pretty useless Mercurial Geist. So that is an option. So what's he going to drop into our graveyard here? We're going to lose an Expedite and a Slip Through Space. That's kind of annoying. And we've got a Whirler Rogue. Okay. So we can at least nuke one of these Thopters here, if we want to. Okay, so I mean we could drop the Bedlam Reveler after we've played out the Fiery Impulse, so we could Fiery Impulse one of these down, which will then pump up both of these. So I don't really need that island, I'd rather, draw the 3 cards. I mean, can I play that out? Did I play out the mana this turn? No, I did already, so that's cool. Just going to swing with you, and then we're going to drop the Bedlam Reveler, draw 3 cards, and have a nice Prowess creature. Yeah, I've never seen anybody use Tightening Coils before, but it's an interesting card, but... so he's just going to take that, so we'll drop the Bedlam Reveler here. Nice and cheap, because we've got plenty of instants and sorceries in our graveyard. So we discard the island, which we don't need, and we draw... Ooh, very nice. Couple of our decent spells that we need to push through lethal, actually. So basically any of our creatures here, providing he doesn't have some kind of even a bounce spell wouldn't help him, because I can just drop something like Bedlam Reveler, I could drop something like Mercurial Geist again, just Expedite it. So he's got the Thopter Spy Network. Not really going to help him because we've got the Slip Through Space in hand. So yeah, Bedlam Reveler has come to our rescue here, and he's, not done anything there. So we're just going to drop the island, drop the Slip Through Space on you. Draws us a card. All the Prowess is triggering. You're unblockable. And then we just swing with our 3 aggressive creatures. Cool, that worked out pretty well in the long run. Mostly because our opponent was mana screwed, I feel, but you know, I'll take what I've given. There we go. I think we've got time for one more game. Okay guys, here we are for the final game of today. I was looking at my phone, so did not see who we're playing. I will double check in a moment. This is quite a nice hand. We've got the Jhessian Thief, we've got a Fiery Impulse and a couple of Rush of Adrenaline. So yeah, we've got the Jhessian Thief for the card draw. So we're playing Old World Blues, who's a rank 16. I want to get to rank 20 by this. I want to win this one, guys. We should be able to do it. We've got the aggression in the Rush of Adrenalines and the Jhessian Thief for the card draw, so we should be okay here. This guy's mulliganed down once. I hope he's happy with it. So I shall see his... I like the new artwork on this mountain here. That's really cool. Okay, so that's kind of decided what I want to do on turn 1. We're going to drop the Wandering Fumarole. Now it's a tap land, so we want to get it down. Sometimes the Wandering Fumarole is really nice late game to switch it up to a 4/1 creature. So he's got double blue down so far. Interesting. Got the slip through space as well, which is going to be really good with the Jhessian Thief, as it basically allows you to get a double card draw in a turn by making it unblockable. So you draw a card from the slip through space, and then you also then draw an additional card from the Jhessian Thief connecting with your opponent. Okay, so he's been replaced by the AI. I'm assuming because he's mana screwed by the looks of things. So we've got the double blue here, and I did not see him drop a 3rd one, so I'm assuming he did the old disconnect trick and just DC'd himself. Which is slightly, you know, it's bad manners, really, let's be honest. So I've just got to play out against the AI to finish up with. Yeah, I had a hunch that we'd be playing maybe Mill here with all the mono blue. Okay, so we're going to slip through space first, see if we draw a creature. If we do, we can then expedite it. So no, we did not. So we can either could rush for adrenaline just to, you know, get some more damage through. Because, you know, we're playing a mill deck, so we want to be as aggressive as possible. But I don't really want to use too many of my instant spells, so I'd rather save them for multiple creatures if I can. So I'd rather save all these Prowess triggers for when I've got 2 Prowess creatures down. I do have the telling time, so that could be useful. I'm probably going to use this on his end step just to draw a couple of cards. Especially what do we lose there? 2 mana, that's fine by me. So let's grab the telling time. I mean, we could use it as a Prowess trigger, but in this case I'm looking for a second creature to help us out here. So we'll get the Docent of Perfection, and the island can go on top, I suppose. So we'll drop the Docent. Okay, so we're just going to scatter that to the winds. Kind of sad panda, but never mind. So we'll just swing with you then. We'll push through 1 more point of damage. And draw a card. So at this point I'm just looking for a second creature, really. Docent of Perfection would have been a luxury rather than a necessity. Ah, Stormchaser Mage, that's exactly what I wanted. That would have been the perfect card there. And he's got his own Docent of Perfection. Okay, at least you can remove it with the double Fiery Impulse, which is quite nice. And, you know, get a double Prowess trigger on our Jhessian Thief, that's what I'm looking for. So he's going to Fiery Impulse. Yeah, unfortunately we do have to use 2 on this one. Just get the double trigger on you though. There we go. I made it use 1 Rush of Adrenaline here. Just because I just want to push through as much damage as possible. So it goes up to a 6/7. Wow, I just realised this guy's got quite a bit... No. He hasn't got a fat stack. I'm being silly here. It's because he's been milling me, so that's fine. I was like, oh, he's got a fat stack. It's like, no, I just had a lot of my cards put into the graveyard because of the Sphinx's tutelage, unfortunately. Oh, we are playing red and blue. Okay. And we also have the Disciple of the Ring. So luckily he cannot actually use any of the counter stuff on that, which is, you know, good for me. Ooh, very nice. We've got the Mercurial Geists. So again, like I said, he's got no counter. So I'm just going to Expedite you. And then probably Rush for Adrenaline you on top of the... ooh, we've got the Slip Through Space. Even better. So that should just be lethal at this point now. yeah, I don't think he can do anything about this, just because we've managed to push through more than enough damage here early on with our Jhessian Thief. So yeah, it looks like we're playing red-blue mill, probably with the Fevered Visions. Can't block either of these, so we're going to push through that 8 damage we need and win that game. So sorry, Mr. Old World Blues, well, your AI that took over for you. You're no match for the Prowess deck. Okay, very nice. So we're up to rank 20. So I'm going to leave the episode here. So that was my Prowess deck. Look out for the 2 more gameplay videos to follow up. They're going to be in pretty quick succession, so probably Tuesday, Wednesday. And then we'll get back to normal with a deck tech on Friday. But I'll leave it here for now. As always, guys, don't forget to comment and like if you enjoyed the episode. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.